Hello there guys and welcome to the daily update. South Africa continues to play itself as a movie where the good guys are fighting back against the bad guys, and in the middle of that movie there is one person in particular who's behaving like a character of Fast and Furious. This man has guns and also allegedly is stealing cars. I'm speaking about an individual by the name of Sharnick Stuart James. Less than 24 hours ago, the character Mr. Sharnick James decided that he's going to open 3 cases against Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo. He says that one of the cases is contravention of the POPIA Act, defeating the ends of justice, and also perjury because he believes that Dumisani Khumalo was lying at the Madlanga Commission. Well, you'd be glad to find out that the KZN police are fighting back. They are fighting back against Sharnick James because they believe that he is misrepresenting the facts. Now what they are doing is to expose the same man who thinks that he can prove them wrong. Since Sharnick James decided to tell South Africa that he's an innocent man, the KZN police decided to look at 29 case dockets, and of those 29, there were 18 cases which were of interest. When they looked further, they found out that 10 were related to theft of cars and 8 were for carjacking. It was taken at the presence of the owner. That is what the case dockets are saying in regards to Mr. Sharnick James. Well, the most interesting part about these cases is that Mr. Sharnick James entered into plea agreement, and the KZN police are still wondering how this came about because these are serious charges. How did it come about that this person entered into plea agreement when he has so many cases which are very serious? That is a question for another day. Well, one of the things that they did is to find out why was he so confident. Please listen to this video.
On the 16th of January at 16:58 in the afternoon of that day, a particular employee of the South African Police Services went into the criminal record system and made some adjustments to the benefit of Mr. Stuart Sharnick. That's why Mr. Sharnick is so confident to say there'll be nothing on the system. Unfortunately, the particular employee doesn't understand the full extent of auditing side of the back end of systems.
So a rogue policeman in KZN decided that he is going to go to the system and delete the history. Well, little did he know that when you delete, it doesn't mean that they are off. It's more like a bin. They are stored somewhere. That is why it was very easy to find the culprit. Well, they're still wondering, was it a mistake? Was this person not aware that he's deleting them? And I'm sitting here saying that there is no mistake in that. That person knew exactly what they were doing, and it was more like a favor according to me, because there is no way that you decide to delete the history. It was something that was planned. They talked about it. That is why the man was so confident that he can go and open cases saying that I've been harassed and I have no case to answer for. He knew that there's nothing that he has to answer for because, according to him, all these things have been deleted. Well, technology doesn't lie. KZN police also confirmed that there were cases of common assault and possession of firearm which were either fine or withdrawn. And they also confirmed that this man owns 5 firearms. I just want you to look at this picture on the screen, which is of Sharnick James. He was intercepted by the Metro Police of KZN, who wanted to know, why is this guy driving around with a rifle? I mean, he knows the law according to him. He knows people. He decided to have an altercation with these police officers because he thinks that he knows the law. I mean, you would if you know the people at the top. They are also confirming that this guy doesn't have a security certificate. So what is he doing with all these guns? The man says that they are for a sport. I said it. This is Fast and Furious. You cannot be accused of stealing cars and you run around with guns and then we don't think that your favorite movie is Fast and Furious. It is depicting what we are seeing in the country. This man is an associate of a top cop. He tried to confuse us and say we don't have cases. Now they are proving that you have a lot of cases. There are videos of him having altercations with police officers, which tells you that they think they are above the law. You can only be above the law when you have people who can back you up. If you don't have them, obviously you are going to follow the rules. Another interesting individual that we saw in Parliament today was a man by the name of Cedrick Nkabinde. The man thought he could be an entertainer in Parliament, but little did he know that he's going to get exposed. Please watch.
Give you her contact numbers. Yes.
I'll keep it. There are even numbers I have for members of this committee. I keep it for future reference.
No, Chair.
Cedrick Nkabinde, the entertainer, thought that he could come to Parliament and lie to them, only for him to be exposed on the fact that you come to Parliament to give us false stories. You are even mixing the dates on when you met Mchunu, on when the meetings were held. He's talking about a meeting held at the private property of Mr. Senzo Mchunu. The man basically says that we were never going to offices. We were working at the private property of Senzo Mchunu. When they press him on that, he changed his story to say that it is not a private property. It is a house of a minister. So we basically don't go to the offices to do our work. We go and do it at the house that is provided by government. That is where the meetings were taken. The meetings of Brown Mchunu and Senzo Mchunu. He didn't mention the others, but if he was able to meet Mchunu in his private house to conduct the business of government, well, it means also he was meeting the rest of them. So we have been told that these guys were meeting to discuss the matters of national interest. If that is not incompetence, then I don't know. But one thing we've learned today is that Nkabinde came to the ad hoc committee to lie. They exposed him and also showed him the door to say that, come when you are ready. We are not here to play but to talk about serious matters. It tells us of a movie that is South Africa. On the other hand, you have an individual who has the adrenaline to talk about the fact that he has no case. He can even go and open a case against the crime intelligence head. This side, we have a man, a chief of staff, who allegedly doesn't know what a chief of staff has to do. He's coming to tell us that I was with General Mkhwanazi and we were just going to do boy stuff. According to him, he wanted to expose Mkhwanazi, but little did he know that he's exposing himself and he doesn't know the duties of being a chief of staff. One thing for sure is that although these people might have been making chess moves, having all this power and doing as they like, their time has arrived. They can no longer do as they like and they have to go and answer for all the allegations. Madlanga, the ad hoc committee, both of them, they don't play. They make sure that you come and tell the truth. If you don't, they're going to show you the door.